Thank you for everyone for joining us today here at Levittown Public Library's Posture Alignment class with Kimberly. Today is June 27th, approximately 11 a.m. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you. All right, thanks, Hitomi. We started with the video recording session, so I'm going to start with you guys. Does anybody have any questions from, well, 2 weeks ago now? Rose, Barbara, anybody? No? Does anybody have any stuff that they definitely want to see? Somebody already said arm circles and that whole beginning sequence, the basic stuff. Anybody else?
Class that I was at, I left here feeling great. So
did you write it down? I don't remember what we did.
Sometimes I'll leave and I'm like, oh, that hurt, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. So I'll go through that and we'll rename that sequence that felt so good, Denise's sequence. We'll do that. Let's start out with a static back so I can yak at you and look for some really, really hard stuff because I did have something in mind for today. This is our last session for at least this group of sessions. So we're going to lay down on our back. Today, we're probably going to be using one block, one strap. If I get really, really involved, we might utilize 2 blocks. But anybody that's brandy new and if you can't lay on the floor, you're just going to sit in your chair, nice and square with your feet on the floor, and just stay as balanced and even as you can there. Static back does not look like this. It does look like laying on your back, which I will demonstrate in a moment. Okay. Amazing. It's good to see everybody come out. I do work best in person, I will say that. Even though I love hearing the sound of my voice, apparently. I don't. I like playing off of you guys. I work best interacting. I'd be a terrible comedian. All right, so if you're new to static back, which I know a lot of you aren't, you want to trap the legs at 90 degrees best you can. And I'm going to walk around it a little bit just to see with another pair of eyes how your alignment is in static back. I know these chairs aren't exactly 90, they're not exactly straight. We're doing the best we can. If you do feel tension in your neck at all, anybody, it's usually due to the fact that your head position is off, and that's nothing that you can fix consciously. We want static back to stay a very relaxed, unconscious, I'm just hanging out here, letting gravity do the work kind of move. So if you are feeling tension in your neck, it's probably because your face is looking behind you due to the position of your shoulders and your pelvis and so on. So you could give yourself a pillow if that is what's happening. We'd like your face to be as parallel to the ceiling as you can get it, but we'd also like it to unwind itself so that it can get parallel to the ceiling without a pillow.
Arms up.
Good question, Carol. Gosh, you guys always catch me. So we're bringing the arms out to 45 degrees. And I'd love for you guys to go palms up. But if you notice that your palms love to naturally go down, that's probably because your shoulders are rounding forward and they're really not liking that position. So it's flipping your palms down via the radius and the ulna, the lower 2 bones in the arm. If that is you, you can bring your arms out more to a T, and that's going to allow your shoulder blades to be a little more comfortable coming back and down, and you might feel more comfortable with your palms up that way. I don't see anybody out there that's got too much of a problem like that. I have worked with people who are so rounded in their upper back, they have to force their palms up. And clearly in that situation, I'm not going to make them lay there for 5 minutes trying to force their palms up. It's not working out. So good question, Carol. About 3 more minutes. Good. Yeah, looking fine.
Am I straight?
Do you feel crooked?
A little.
Okay, let me look at you from this position. Let's see.
A little.
Slightly. Let me adjust you to where it looks right to my eye, and then you tell me what that feels. It's so slight.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah, oh, see, yeah,
Okay.
I think
And
I
it-
can tell a little difference.
And it's all right to wiggle your butts while you're in this position and just kind of move your shoulders every minute or so. When I threw a 17-year-old in the tower, I've shown you guys in the past what the tower looks like, but it's an hour-long procedure, and you just lay there. As I threw him in there, his posture was messed up, but his posture was adjusting so quickly because he was young and he was adapting to what I was doing or what he was doing to his posture. And every few minutes, he's like wiggling and adjusting because he was uncomfortable. So his body was changing. And it's a good thing to adjust and wiggle because we're going to expect change from your body in any of these positions. So feel free to wiggle and adjust. How's the shoulder today? Your head does what my head does due to a shoulder injury. So your head is actually coming
Not in the line.
off. Yeah.
Feel it.
Does it hurt?
No,
Is tension causing your head to go over there?
and might just be from medium to opposite side. 'Cause my head is still down. Checking.
Is it going numb now?
No, if it was, I would be in that
Okay.
position.
Just
I'm just trying to do, do something.
Mhm.
Coming across the board,
Mhm.
just modify. You can do it to, once I found that the results of injury.
It's not the worst I've seen, if that helps. It's, It's certainly not the-
But it was not like,
you notice a difference.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Coming across the board, it's like, okay, we'll straighten up, and then all of a sudden you try to straighten up and the pain that goes through you, right?
Right, right. And does that make sense? Does your body was throwing you into this posture for a reason, and then you try to fix it and you get pain. So your body's doing it for a reason. That's why we trust the wisdom of the body.
Right, well, that's why. It's
Yeah.
like, I figured that, this might help.
Yeah, little corrective exercise to gently coax it to come straight on its own in its own time.
And I realized I can't do it.
Would everybody be terribly upset if I got them out of static back and we did some wall stuff? Of course, they put tables against the walls now, so that makes it really, really easy. In your own time, let's take it to hands and knees, and we're going to do cats and dogs, and then we'll get up. If you can't do cats and dogs on hands and knees, you can lay on your back and do pelvic tilts, or you can do cats and dogs sitting in a chair. So if cats and dogs doesn't work for you, you could just rock back and forth with the pelvic tilts. Otherwise, we're going to do a little cats and dogs, and this can get done in a chair too. Oh gosh, that feels good. So this move on my hands and knees that I'm demonstrating via video for everyone can definitely be done in a chair. I'm just arching my back. Extension and flexion, back and forth, back and forth. If that hurts your hands, if you got wrist issues, shoulder issues, you could do it on your fists or just do it in a chair. If you don't have a wall to get to, we can definitely do this next move standing in the middle of the room. So we're going to do some pigeon-toed exercises. And I'm just going to move this stuff that got wheels, and it's got wheels for a reason. So I'm going to move it. Right, Carmen? I just move everything out of the way. So I'm going to grab yourself a piece of wall or grab yourself some space in the middle of the room. There's certainly wall up there. Wherever you want to go, we're going to do some pigeon-toed stuff against the wall. And if you can't do against the wall, turn this to the side. If you can't do against the wall, no big deal. We can do it in the middle of the room.
Am I on video?
Now you're not. Oh, now Carmen is. So I'm going to turn this way so that no one's on video. Perfect. Okay, so when we do pigeon-toed stuff, the point of it is to actually get the pelvis into a more neutral position via load. So we're going to go pigeon-toed, which means we're turning inward from your hips. I'd love for you to be trapped against the wall to do this. That way you don't start twisting out of it and you don't realize it. But there's plenty of times where I do pigeon-toed without the wall. So me and Carol are going to do that. It's not about how hard you turn in, because if you turn in and you look like this, we're really not right. It's really not doing much. I want you to turn in as uniformly as you can. So look down at your toes, try to get them to touch, and then adjust the angle. Knees must be straight here. Once the knee bends, then all of a sudden all the work comes out of the hip and it won't go all the way up the spine, which is where I'm aiming. So keep your knees straight. A lot of times I even tell myself, tighten your thighs, Kim, tighten your thighs. And as I tighten my thighs, my butt tightens too. You just tighten everything, right? Doing okay, Denise? Cool.
Yeah, the only thing is this is a little raised, is that okay?
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not the best, but I'll take it.
And are we supposed to try to get other body parts up against the wall?
Great question.
Shoulders, the head.
Great question. A lot of times, even if you're new to this, well, mostly if you're new to this, other stuff is not going to hit the wall, especially the head. The head is usually the last thing to hit the wall. So don't try to force anything to hit the wall. When you're doing this move against the wall, all I want you to think of is keep my feet uniform. Make sure this turn is coming from your hips. I don't want this coming from the ankles and in a way that you can't hold it for 3 minutes, because that's how long we're going to be here, maybe 4. And keep your thighs tight. That's it. So all this work here, there, and here will eventually make its way to your head. So if your shoulder is off or your head is off, don't force it. We're going to wait for this to change this. Good. Gosh, I wish everybody else would describe things to me the same way I describe them to you. Another good question. Where are your arms supposed to be? When I do pigeon-toed, again, I'm just kind of like hanging out. One of my shoulders is busted, so this arm is going to be in the front, and I can't fix that because it's a structural thing now. I just let it hang where it's going to be. Sometimes I pick my nose. So don't think too much about where your arm position needs to, just let it hang. Does anybody feel pain in this position? People with anterior tilts, people who are like that, like the crazy athletes or the dancers, I give them this position. It's not the best for them. Can you see why? Now that you've been in this position for almost 3 minutes, can you feel why somebody who already has this might not like this position? What's it doing to you? Right. Does anybody know from doing this work with me in the past what this is doing to the position of your pelvis? It's tilting it, right? Which direction is it tilting it? You're going which way? You're going this way?
No.
You're going this way.
No,
Yeah.
right. I'm normally that way. But now I'm going this way.
It's doing an anterior tilt. It's tipping the pelvis forward. So it's actually creating more of an S curve in your spine so that the shoulders and head position will change. Does everybody feel that right here in the lower back?
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
right. You talk like I talk when I was at work. Fantastic. We're going to add on to this. Even if you're not against the wall, we're going to do some shoulder work. So you're going to squeeze your shoulders back, hold them there, lift and lower. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this. Usually we do 30, but I'm tired of counting nowadays because I talk so much. Every 10, I usually take a break. And if this hurts you, don't do it. Can you do this sitting in a chair? Yeah. So those of you at home who can't stand, maybe one of my clients can't stand, sit in a chair and do this. No excuses. You want to think like you're wiping the wall with your shoulder blades. And you notice the higher you come, the more your shoulders kind of want to come off of the wall for some of you. Anybody noticing that? If you did this with your feet straight, that would probably happen even more so. But because we're turning the feet in, it's tipping the pelvis forward, therefore throwing your shoulders against the wall. So there's less of a chance of your shoulders rounding forward while you do this move. Don't believe me? You can go ahead and try it. Put your feet straight ahead and you'll notice something changed. 1 more minute. Take like 3 or 4 or 5 second breaks in between every 10 or 15. Just give your body just a moment just to reset, because we're trying to repattern it. Our next move is going to be arm circles. So if anybody hates arm circles, you don't have to do them. They used to stink for me because of what was going on with my shoulder, but it's better now. So you can do shoulder rolls if arm circle stinks for you. Arm circles can be done in multiple positions. Has anybody, you guys can stop, has anybody done arm circles in anything other than standing position? Yep. Laying down. Yeah, sure. We'll do arm circles laying down. I'm going to do them kneeling. You guys can do them sitting in a chair. You can do them in the sitting floor position. You can do them laying down. Good luck. You can do them standing. So it's your choice. There is. There is. When you do them kneeling, it's going to stop your pelvis from doing this. It's going to drag it back. So I have a tendency to start going in this direction. So arm circles helps me pull the pelvis underneath without thinking about it. When you do it in the sitting floor position, oh my goodness. So let me just get in the video. So sitting floor, you guys know this if you've been with me for a while. Remember this 5-minute long position that we held sometimes? You sit upright, the shoulders come back. There's arm circles and sitting. It's probably the hardest arm circles ever to do. So my sway back girls, I wouldn't give this to because they're just going to do this. But this might help somebody who's stuck here. So they won't be able to get it done as easily, but somebody who's got a posterior pelvic tilt, this is a hard hip flexor work. So you've got that, you've got standing, and you've got kneeling. So you guys take whatever arm position you'd like to do. We're going to do arm circles.
Do you have recommendations for us? Like what?
You mean specifically? Whatever one you haven't done yet, do it today. So if you've done standing arm circles and have never tried that sitting floor one, do the sitting floor one. Have you ever done sitting floor arm circles?
Yeah, you've done them in class.
Done kneeling? You haven't done it, then kneeling is for you today. Roll up your mat if you have to. Whatever you haven't tried, give it a try, and then you're going to see how your body responds to it. How's your body feel when you're done? So arm circles get done this way. You're going to take your hands into fists and then flatten out your fists so your palms are real available. Stick your thumbs out like a fool. Keep that hand position. We're going to drop the arms along each side and draw the shoulders back and down. Now remember, I just showed you that whole thing with the people that love to have sway back. That's not the move. It's what you did against the wall. Shoulders only. Arms come out, circle up and forward 40 times.
Is this of any use? What I'm doing?
It looks cute. You could do shoulder rolls. So for shoulder rolls works. So I also have the tendency to kind of do this. This is stopping me from doing that. Because if I do that, I'd start to fall backwards. That's why I'm doing this kneeling. I'm going to go palms up now. Thumbs point behind me. Circle up and back. Keep your feet taut. Pull your toes back. Thighs tight. Knees into the floor. Sit upright. Now do them over again. She's like, this is easy. No, it shouldn't be. Good. Relax, everybody. Right? Tough. Come on up, Denise. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Test it out. Good. That one gets me from here to here. I need that. I was going to beat the crud out of you guys today. And we're still going to do that. We're still going to do it. So here's my plan. I'll give you a couple of more exercises therapy-wise. We're going to use the strap and a block. Let's come to the floor. We'll do things like upper spinal floor twist, hip crossover stretch, and get you nice and prepped again. And then we're going to hit it hard. So grab a block and grab your strap. We're going to take it to the floor. I think I'm going to give you guys like double switch. We haven't done that in a while. Sure. We'll do upper spinal floor twist. You good?
Yeah.
Just. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that I wasn't ignoring you. Okay, so let's start out on the floor. We're gonna do, let's do upper spinal floor twist, hip crossover stretch. What do you want first, Marie? Cool, upper spinal floor twist. So we're gonna lay completely on one side, and I'll show you guys how to modify this if you are at home and you cannot get on the floor. But first, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this on the floor. So we're laying, remember those 90-degree angles that we like to keep? Keep them. Knees stay glued together, ankles stay glued together. Whatever the heck side you're on, you're gonna take your hand to hold your knees in place. The bottom arm, that's it. Some people can't reach it, so I have them use a strap. Some people can't reach their legs, and that's cool. So just use anything you have nearby. The top arm is gonna open up like a book. So watch it as it opens. Keep your knees in place, and you'll hit this point where, oh, there's a lot of tension. Just hang there. That's this stretch. But there's a lot of work going on. Eventually, you will make it to the floor, but don't cheat in order to make it there. I'm gonna hang out here for 2 minutes today. If this hurts your arm like it used to on my arm, you can rest your arm on a chair. You can rest your arm on your ribs so that it doesn't provide so much leverage in that area if you're healing from something, right? Other alternative is doing this in a chair. So you can sit in a chair and just twist your upper body in one direction. Same thing. The arm that you're opening like a book, you want to keep it in line with your shoulder. So it's wrist, elbow, shoulder, shoulder. Nice straight line.
Or as far back
Yep,
as, like,
as
you
far
go.
back as you can go, but we're still
Straight.
keeping this line of here, here, like a pole
Okay.
all the way through. Does that make sense?
And my head should be in what direction?
Another good question. If you can, your face will be looking up towards the ceiling. Eventually, it will look towards the arm that you're opening, but your neck is going to tell you, hey, that's okay, or no, that's not okay. So just let your head go where it wants to. Good, one more minute. In fact, both of you ladies who I know have shoulder issues, you're in the position where I used to be. And that felt great to me because you're twisting the thoracic, your upper body. It doesn't even matter if you're using the leverage of the arm and the weight of the arm. We're still getting work done. So don't think, oh, gee, this ain't good enough. You're doing just fine. And I'm glad you're listening to your bodies. I was there too. About 15 more seconds in upper spinal floor twist. Everybody looks great. Your other side's going to be different. Always is. Come out of it gently, and we're going to switch to the other side. You guys can do this for 3 minutes. That's usually the amount of time that you spend in an exercise before it starts really getting deep. All these 1 minute long exercises, you can take it to 3 minutes. Same setup on this side, everybody. Knees are glued together, ankles are glued together, and twist open. Good. You do want to try to go palm up. You can test that and see if I twist open, my palms down, where do I feel it? When I twist open and my palms up, where do I feel it? What is it doing? And you decide what's beneficial. Yeah, right? You catch that? Yeah. I was going to say that earlier in the other move. This move is especially helpful when you breathe using that diaphragmatic breathing, but there's so much to talk about with these moves. Hey, do this, and then do this, and then do that. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. If you think of breathing into the lower part of your back, on your back side, there's a nice soft area just beneath your ribs. And to engage the diaphragm, that'll help with the tissues. Sometimes you guys ever get punched in the gut or get a Charlie horse and you kind of and your breath kind of hitches? Well, that's what's happening in your body with the tissues. When you stretch really hard, the body goes, and it tightens back up. So that's why I often don't tell people, yeah, you need more stretching, more intense stretching, because it forces the body to tighten up more. So if I were to push my fingers in, and you could use your breath to push my fingers out. Yeah, it's strange, right? It is weird. I did do a east-west breathing sequence, and that helps to activate the diaphragm. Yeah, it's a toughie. It's a toughie. It took me a while to get that too. Maybe if I remember, we'll do this again towards the end, and I'll walk around and stick my fingers in your back so everybody can feel, oh, this is where the breath is supposed to go. It's tough. Okay, come out. We're going to do hip crossover stretch, and then we'll reset, and we'll do some stuff that makes us sweat a little bit. No, strike that. We'll do more block and strap stuff. Okay, hip crossover stretch. We're laying on the back. We're in the hook lying position. We're going to hold each position. Let's do 2 minutes again. Worked out good for me. I'm going to bring the arms out to a T. This time we're going palms down. Palms down. I want you to really spread across your wings. So as if your arms were wings, I want you to reach across and try and get some length between your middle finger and your other middle finger. So I'm reaching. Hands feel kind of active. I'm going to cross the right ankle to the left knee. And without sliding your left foot, don't slide it. Leave it right where it was. Just twist through your lower back and let your legs fall to the left. They may or may not hit the floor. If they're hanging out in space, no big deal. But eventually, the sole of your right foot should hit the floor at the same time as the outside of your left knee, just like I demonstrated. If you can't get to the floor today, you can do this in a chair. Wow. Carmen, stay right where you are. Bring your legs back to center, but don't slide your foot. All the way back to center. Now, where is your left foot? In line with your hip or in line with your crotch? Right. You see, so that's how much slipping your foot did while you were trying to reach the floor. Ankle to knee, ankle to knee. Yes, keep it there and twist. Twist through your lower back. That's it. Don't let anything slip. Ankle and knee are glued together. Feel that difference? Yeah. So the body loves to cheat.
Why can't I go any further?
You want me to say because you're terrible at this move, or is it? No, you're doing just fine. I think the blocks are in the way, to be honest. I think you got a block here. There you go.
That's as far as I can go.
No, okay. Don't force it. I'll just adjust via my words. Via my words. In this move, you will be twisting through your pelvis. So your butt is actually gonna, there you go.
More this way?
Yeah, your butt will go. That's why I adjusted with my words. So this whole portion of your body is gonna go this way. Yep, it's gonna, so this is gonna actually lift and twist. Cool.
What is your head? Look straight up or follow?
It will follow your right hand, so it twists in the opposite direction. The question for everybody in TV land was, which direction did your head go? It goes in the opposite direction of your twist. Everybody's doing great. 10 more seconds. And these have all been excellent questions. Thank you for dealing with my sarcasm. It's usually what gets me fired. I love getting fired. I'm so good at it. Everybody ready? We're going to switch to the other side. Right? Toughie. Toughie. But it was an excellent question. I'm going to demonstrate on this side for everybody in TV land. So we're doing left ankle to right knee now? Yes. Okay. Left ankle to right knee. Arms out to a T, blah, blah, blah. Same old story. This is what someone did. So they sweeped their foot over to the side in order to twist. That's called cheating. That's why I've verbally pulled them back. And the other thing that I've noticed, people they're getting stuck. It's just because I'm not just describing it well enough, and they're new to it, that the legs are not the only place where the movement is going to come from. You want it to come from your lower back. So we're actually twisting the spine. So my left butt cheek is off the floor. I am twisting my lower half towards the side. So if you're new to this, don't miss that aspect of this exercise. That might have been something that I skipped over with my words, but I just demonstrated. So I am twisting through my lower back in order to reach the floor. One last minute. The other part of this thing, I know there's so many parts. Your top knee, that knee that's almost pointing to the sky, we want it to point to the sky. So use your butt muscle to point your top knee to the sky. There's a tendency for that knee to just kind of flop in towards your body, but you really want to use the butt muscle to externally rotate through your hip and point your knee to the sky. I love this. We are going to do, I picked the workout that we're going to do. Come on back to center, everybody. I want you to give me 10 pelvic tilts. We're going to do the workout that got me fired from crunch. That's what we're going to do. So it's going to include log rolls. And when we do the log rolls, I want everybody to go, I'm not doing that. And then I'll make sure to get fired. So we're going to do pelvic tilts while you guys lay here on the floor. Remember the cats and dogs that we did earlier? You're just going to do them via your pelvis. Good job, but I want you to keep the butt on the floor. So you want to tilt the pelvis, not lift the pelvis. So it's a back and forth. I only say this to my adults. It's that humping motion, back and forth, like you're grinding on something. That's it. You got it now, back and forth. So this is just going to reset the pelvis and the hips after doing those one-sided moves. You're going to grab your strap and your block, and you're going to bring it near. We're going to bring it near. We're going to stay in the hook lying position. You're going to put your block in between your knees, and you're going to put the strap around the ankles. I don't think anybody needs a strap, but if you do, I have plenty of them. It's a nice big turnout today. Thank you so much for showing up in person. It helps an awful lot. If anybody has any problems with their strap, like it's not holding or they can't get it through or something like that, I'll give you another one or I'll help you out. But first, I'm going to make fun of you, of course. Good?
It should be how tight?
It should be tight enough. Good question. I always miss this. So that your ankles are the same width apart as your hips. Hip distance. Hip distance. And tighten it up so that there's a lot of resistance. We don't want that strap to move. So if your strap is slipping, it might be upside down. Should put pressure on it and it shouldn't move. Then we're going to lay back down again. And here we go. Looks good. Lay down. I'm going to walk around. All right, everybody, apply pressure on the block with your knees. At the same time, try to apply pressure on the strap with your ankles, but don't move your feet. Your feet are going to want to evert and stick out to the sides. Don't let them. I want you to pretend like you're on ice so that there's a gliding action that happens if there's any movement at all. There really shouldn't be any movement. This is what they call not isometric, whatever, an exercise that has no movement, but it has engagement. So over and over, knees go in, ankles go out as simultaneously as you can, and then relax. In and out, relax. In and out, relax. This work should be felt in the hips. Ready? If that's not working out, I'm going to throw you this one. You're just going to use this one.
I don't know if I'm doing it. But it's coming out.
Ready? So I'll show you what's up with that one. So there's teeth. And if you thread it through the wrong way, the teeth aren't doing its job. The loop is already in that one. And it should be the proper width for you. Perfect. Block between your knees, lay back, get to work. Good, everybody.
I don't feel it in my head. I feel it in my calf.
Oh, good point. So someone said they don't feel it in their hips, they feel it in their calves. Hello, compensation. It happens to me too. It happens to me too. When I do this move right off the bat, oh man, here comes the calf cramp or foot cramp. Or foot cramp. Does anybody have any foot cramps? No? Camp of cramp. Try this. Let's see if we could band-aid it. Walk your feet closer to me. Continue. I'm watching that left calf, like trying to do work. Is it left side or both sides?
That's the front of this one and the back of that one.
And the back of this one. Push out on the strap over and over. Still there?
Better now.
Yeah.
That's a really good now.
Yeah. Okay. No strap, just push in with your knees. Where do you feel that?
Coming down my legs now.
Okay. Where we should feel that is right in here. We should. So since we're still kind of stuck in a little compensation, it's trying to find its way. So we're just going to stay here for 2 hours until until she gets it right. No, it takes a while for some of our bodies to kind of get the message, but usually within 3 sets of 20 reps, it's usually enough for everybody's body to at least feel some change.
I feel like I want to arch my back.
Right? Yeah. That's okay. Because what we're doing here is we're trying to engage the hip flexors, and the hip flexor is connected there into the lower back. I'm going to give you 1 more minute here, everybody. Don't try to go fast and don't try to go hard. This is one of my favorite moves. This one and the move that I'll give you after this, my favorite moves, because it really addresses hips. We want you to work, and it addresses knee and feet and ankles. We want you to stay straight, and we want the muscles to remember how to hold you here. So this is a foundational move for me to fix my legs so my neck and shoulders don't hurt. Okay. So we're taking a break. If you've got calves if you've got calves in your calf, you have calf cramps or foot cramps, yes. But the reason why I love them is because they're overworking, especially when we're doing an exercise. They're gonna shut down at some point because they're saying we can't do this anymore, and they're just gonna stop, and then the movement is gonna go to where it has to go. So this might be a good move to take home and kind of check it out at home and watch it change over the days that you do it if you choose to. We're going to switch in about 10 seconds, and we're going to put the strap above the knees. I'm going to put the block between the feet. This move can also be done sitting in a chair. Forgot to tell you. I know we're all doing it in the hook lying position. It can be done sitting in a chair too. Ready for switch? You're going to have to extend the length on your strap here. You have to extend that because it's going to go above your knees. So you had it upside down. So if you look, there's teeth here. Mm-hmm. Wherever there's teeth, that's where fabric has to connect, has to touch.
Or second?
It'll go in fabric touching fabric,
Yeah.
and then over the teeth to go out the tongue. Yep. So it was upside down, so the teeth weren't doing their job. That's why it was slipping. So now we're going to put the strap around the legs. Tighten it up so that your knees are in line with your hips. And you're going to put the block in between your feet. So this is complete opposite of what we were doing. So you should feel it in the opposite sections of what you were doing. Except you're probably going to feel it in your calves again. I hope not, but I hope not. So we're going to push out on the strap. Same time, we're going to glide in to the block. So the big toe, the heel, the instep, the ankle, it's all going to glide in. This isn't an exercise where there's any movement occurring. We're just creating resistance and pushing. We're pushing against the resistance. Push, activate. That's it. As simultaneously as you can. So the ankles go in while the knees go out. Over and over. Bring your heels closer to your butt there, Miss Carol. That way your feet are on the floor, because your toes are, you're like this. So bring them close enough so your feet are on the floor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, feet on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Keep on going, everybody. I'm just going to come a little closer, Carol. So the further away your feet come from your butt, the higher your heels are going to lift up. So I'm going to bring your feet verbally closer to your butt. So bring them closer. Is that okay to put them here?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's where we want to be. Push out on the strap. Same time, in on the block, over and over. The harder we go here, the more compensation we'll probably get into. So try to go lightly, 30%, 40% of your effort over and over. We've got a long time to get this done. The muscles will turn on eventually. Maybe not today, but they're trying. Feel okay? Cool. You all right? You want me to put the chair over your head so you don't have to block the light that's shining into your eyes? Yeah, because I can. Can I tighten this up on you?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I just try and coordinate
Bring your feet closer to me.
and lay down. I use my legs as far as I can.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, continue. And put the chair on top of your head. That way it'll block out the light. That works? Okay, good. Yes, very good. We got a butt. Does anybody else feel this in their butt? Good, but it's not a glute squeeze, right? Did you notice that? It's not a glute squeeze. So by pushing the knees out on the strap, it should recruit your butt muscles to do that. But those of you that maybe don't have butt muscles that are working here, maybe something else. Maybe you feel it in your hamstring. Maybe you're getting a cramp in your hamstring because that's not the muscle that's supposed to be used. Okay, everybody. We're going to get rid of the strap and the block and all that stuff, and we're going to get a little bit of sweat going. Usually these moves are about 2 minutes to 1 minute to get done. We're going to add crunches. We're going to add some bird dog stuff, arm leg opposite lifts. And if my shirt doesn't go up, we're going to do some donkey kicks. I'll just put my back towards the video camera because, you know, shirt loves to go upside down when you go upside down. So I don't want everybody to see that. We're going to start out with arm leg opposite lifts. You can do this laying on the floor, or you can just do it like I normally do it, hands and knees. So our bird dog is arm goes forward, but some of you might not have your balance yet. So if you can't get that leg up into the sky, just keep the foot on the floor for now. Just work it. Let me give you a caveat. If your hip isn't working well, I'm just going to bow down so you can see this in video land. When you lift the leg, it's kind of going to stop and your body's going to compensate by twisting. And you think you're lifting your leg, but am I? So I lift my leg and I'm not really lifting the leg. I'm actually twisting my body to give my body the feel of, yeah, I'm lifting my leg. So just be aware of that. That happens to many people. It happened to me for a long time. So when you stick the arm forward, I like to put my toe down and make sure I'm lifting the leg from the hip, not twisting my body to do it. So I'm going to reach out, hold, and switch. You can do this laying on the floor. So it works same way. You want the movement to come from the shoulder and from the hip. It's going to bother some of you who've got shoulder issues. It bothers me doing this move. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. So if it hurts that bad, you don't have to do it. You can change the position of the arms. It'll probably be easier for a painful shoulder to lift out to the side than it is to go forward. So there's that option too. Other option, laying on your back, doing a cross crawl. It's not quite the same, but similar. So there's that too. When I was rehabbing my shoulder, I did this. Got about a little more than a minute left to go. Pick one, stick to it, and keep doing it. Yep. Why didn't you like the other two I showed you?
I want to try over.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like, oh, she's doing this and doing that. Okay, go for it. Knees are bent, arm goes back, and then back to straight.
So opposite.
Yep. And then back to straight, flat on the ground.
Both.
Yep. You start out here,
Okay.
here, here. That's it. Flop over on your back. We're done. We're going to hold 1 minute each side. It starts like our hip crossover stretch. Arms stay relaxed though. Cross one ankle to your knee, and we're going to hold for 1 minute. Pull it in. Hold it using your hips. So I'm pulling in my left knee. Same time I'm drawing my right knee away. This is our hip lift. Try not to contort too much in your chest and in your hips to get this done. If that is happening, you might want to put your foot back on the floor and take a break. You might want to use the wall as an assist. Or you might just want to just keep going because it feels like a good workout. Perfect world, there should be a 90-degree bend in your knee. The leg that you're pulling in towards you should look like it's laying in static back, with the static back chair or block missing. 20 seconds. I'm going to give you crunches, stair crabs, log roll, mountain climbers if we can, and some donkey kicks, and I'll let you go. See if we can slam all those together. 10 seconds. Remember, left knee pulls in, right knee is drawing away. So there's this push-pull relationship going on, and you're giving it to yourself. 3, 2, 1, stop, switch. Beautiful. Ankle crosses over, pick it up. Your pelvis should be in the same position as it was when both of your feet were on the floor and you were relaxed. If you notice there's a lot of contortion going on there and you didn't keep your pelvis straight, well, that's probably a hip that's not working. So your body's throwing all of that work into your back and your QL and asking that to twist to get this move done. It's smarter than you. It's smarter than me. It knows what to do. Take a break if you need to. This is not an easy move. So right knee is pulling in towards your chest. Left knee is drawing away. Push, pull. Hang on for dear life. Got 20 more seconds. You can do it. If you can't do it, who cares? Take a break. You'll do it tomorrow. Because if you don't, I'm coming to your house. I'm knocking down that door. Why aren't you doing your exercises, Dad? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What a nice place to do some crunches. We're going to do posture style crunches. So I want you to stay upright in your upper body. So when we do it, interlace your hands behind your head if you can. If that sucks for you, just put your hands on your shoulders. But I want you to stay extended up here so the elbows stay back and down, just like we did against the wall. Remember we did this and we held the shoulders back and down? Keep that while you do your crunches. You can pull off 20, 25, or 10. I don't care. Look at the ceiling behind you. Keep that spot. Lifting up and down. Do less to do more. So I'm lifting up maybe 2 to 4 inches. This is not quite a crunch like you saw in the 90s. There's no rounding of the upper body. I want you to stay extended in your upper body. That's why I'm keeping your gaze on the ceiling behind you. So your eyes have to stay open. Look at something behind you and keep it there. I don't know, give me 50 more, something on that's like, oh my God. We're going to come up to this kind of squatty, crawly position next. You guys can use a chair to help you if you have to, or don't. So we're going to do something called stair crabs. We used to do this in Syosset. It was awesome. We climbed all the way up the stairs and I bear crawled down the stairs. Anybody that was willing to do it. So we're going to use a chair here to help. The point of this move is to reteach your body how to stay into flexion. You can go wide with your legs. You can even have your feet turn out, but eventually you want the feet to point straight ahead. When I do this on the floor, I come from my plank, step, 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 step. I use my right foot first, right? So now I'm going to do my left. Step, step. Man, I sound like an elephant on that one. Step, step. You might not be able to do it off the floor. So use a chair. Step, step, hips as low as you can go. That's the point. Get in the hips. 2 minutes. That's right. You have 2 minutes to get to your chair and start. No, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes for this move. I don't care if you squeeze out 2 of them, 1 of them. Here we go. Go for it. Sure, sure. So you have your chair. You step as close to your hand as you can and close and back. So if you use your right foot first, then you use your left foot next. as low as you can. Eventually, you will be doing it from plank. And if you got stairs at home, you'll be doing this on your stairs. These are stair crabs. It's prepping you for Malasana squat in yoga. Yeah, okay. Good, 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 Carol. Really? One more minute. No. Get up there and try and get, it's not about how low you go if you can't even get there. So go where you can go and stay with a little bit of discomfort. So if you're stepping up and one leg wants to go and the other one doesn't quite want to go, maybe don't go so low. Give it a break and try and stay a little more uniform. 30 seconds. Yep. While we have the chairs, time. You can put your chair on the mat, use its stickiness to help you. Everybody's out of breath. Good. Or you can put your hands on the floor and try to work this move from the floor. I haven't done it in a while, so it might look ugly. I'll go this way. It starts from kind of a downward facing dog. It's a donkey kick, but it's a special style donkey kick. It's a moving handstand is what it is. But don't get thrown out of crazy, oh my God, I can't do that. Because it's so simple. If you can just reach down and touch the floor or touch a chair like you just did, then you can work on it. Whoop. Oh my God, I did a handstand for a second. Counts to me. We're going to do it for a minute. Ultimately, see if I crack myself on this. That's what you want it to. I'm just demonstrating. That's what you want it to look like. The harder version of that is doing that on a chair. It doesn't even look like that for me. It looks terrible. So I'm going to give you a minute. Maybe yours looks like this today. Say that a little louder for a whole minute, and that's a good excuse for me. No, it's not. Get it done. 1 minute. There's zero excuse on this one because you guys just got finished doing it. You've got good excuse. So here's something else you can do. You can put yourself on the wall and do an air bench. Work your legs for now. Carmen, how come you're not doing that? Fair excuse. So when I said no excuse, you girls actually have an excuse. 30 more seconds. Make sure you're even over there. Good. Good job. Nice. What we're going for is loading the shoulders, and you're also going for getting your heart to get a little workout here. Very nice. It's like a three-legged dog. That's all it is. Three-legged downward dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How's that fear? Did you get over it? Yes. Good. Good. No fear. You start somewhere. Nice, everybody. I guess I'll give you one more. We got 4 more minutes left. What do you guys want to do? Boom! Static back. Static back it is. Go for it. Static back. You want to do static back? You go do a static back. Static back. So they're finishing out with a static back. You guys at home, if you want to sign off, that's down to you. We're going to do some lady talk here. They're ending in a static back. They'd like to. They earned it. They earned it. Oh, no class next week because it's July 4th, so I'll see you the week afterwards. Make sure if you're going to see me in person, everybody, you keep going, I'm addressing TV land. If you're going to see me in person, that you sign up for the in-person classes. And if you're only doing Zoom, then sign up for the Zoom classes because it does make a difference. Catch you next time.